Introduce myself again for those who do not know me. My name is Sudeep Hegde. I live in a town called Clemson in South Carolina in the United States. I work at Clemson University as an assistant professor in industrial engineering. And yes, I have been doing this meditation, Sahaj Yoga, since 2008. And I've been part of these sessions on Zoom, I think, for almost 2 years now. So, Miriam, you're already doing the foot soak. That's great. Enjoy. So each time we have a theme for that session, that meditation session, which we get to after the foot soak. So this time we will be focusing on what's known as the 6 enemies of the soul. Just like in the West, there are the 7 deadly sins. So similarly, it's very similar. So we'll see how there are these all kinds of distractions in our spiritual ascent, and how these factors are also connected to our different chakras, and how we can clear them. All right, so we can get started with the foot soak if you're all ready. But before that, as we always do, we will start the meditation session by raising that energy, the Kundalini, that subtle energy within us. We raise it 3 times, and then we balance ourselves. So if you're looking at this for the first time, what we do is we bring the left hand in front of the abdomen, just below the stomach, the right hand behind it, and the left hand simply goes up. The right hand wraps around it like this. And so we bring it up from the bottom, raising the energy, bring it over the head, and tie a knot like this. So we do this again. The second time, we tie 2 knots. And the third time, we'll tie 3 knots. So this is to bring that subtle energy, the Kundalini, up over the 7th center and establish it there with the knots. Then we will balance the energies of the left channel and the right channel. So the left hand simply rests on the lap. The right hand, you bring it near the left hip. Raise the right hand. You're raising the energy of the left side, and bring it all the way down to the right, near the right hip. And then back again the same way. The right hand moves back from the right up, and then down the left. So this, we just balanced the energy from the left to the right and right to the left for the first chakra. There are 7 chakras, main chakras. So we will do this 6 more times. Left to the right, right to the left. Same thing for the 3rd chakra. Then the 4th. And the 5th. Then the 6th. And then the 7th. All right. Now, if you have your foot soak ready, we can sit down. Don't put your feet in the water yet, unless you've already put it in. That's okay. I just need to put some salt into the water. Now, we've all experienced, to some extent, the flow of vibrations either on our head or on our hands or both. So once this inner energy, the subtle energy, the Kundalini, is awakened and it's gone through that seventh center, those vibrations are now flowing through us, especially when we keep our attention here. So we will use that to channel those divine vibrations into this water and salt apparatus, so that that instrument, it becomes a good instrument to draw out all the negativity from our system. So we will just do these clockwise motions like this over the water, but keeping your attention here at the top. You can also say, let the qualities of the ocean, of the sea, come into this footsoak. Okay, now we can put both our feet inside the water. Let's sit comfortably, the back straight. We'll take a few deep breaths. Allow the attention to settle down. We'll now bring our attention to the top of the head. You can even bring your hand over your head to see how you're feeling. You can try with the other hand also. Let's place the right hand towards the earth. So let it just hang by your side. So the right hand downward, left hand rests on the lap. And let us feel a connection with Mother Earth. Let us realize that we are a part of Mother Earth. Supported by her, nourished and protected by her. Mother, please establish the quality of innocence in me. Please enlighten my first chakra, the Mooladhara. Please give me a healthy and balanced Mooladhara. Please make me innocent and wise. The Muladhara is also the root of the left energy channel, which relates to the past, emotions, desire, and the subconscious. So we ask the earth element, Mother, please clear out my left energy channel. Please absorb all the unnecessary memories, superficial desires, conditionings from the past. I surrender these to you. When we surrender, when we let go of the past, we come into the present. The joy of the spirit comes into our being. And you might notice a difference on your left hand. Maybe it feels a little bit lighter, more of a flow or coolness. If you're feeling any tingling sensations on your fingertips, perhaps that has reduced. Any of these is an indication that the left energy channel is clearing out. We can bring the right hand back on our lap. Now we will clear the right energy channel. We raise the left hand up. By just bending near the elbow. The right hand rests on the lap, palm facing upward. Here we appeal to the ether and the air elements in the sky. Please take away any excess heat generated on the right energy channel because of too much thinking, too much mental and physical activity. Please cool down and soothe my attention. Let my attention become more stable, but let it also become more subtle, more deep. Let my thoughts dissolve and let my attention become one with the Spirit. Again, you might start to feel the difference on the right hand. More coolness, more of a flow, or less heat, less tingling. And bring the left hand down. We can put both the hands downward towards the earth. And ask, Mother, let any remaining heaviness, heat, or anything else that is blocking the flow of the Kundalini be absorbed unto you. I surrender everything from the past and the future that distracts my spiritual ascent unto you. You can bring both hands back on the lap. The footsoak is also very effective in clearing the region known as the void, which basically encompasses the second and the third chakras. So this entire region around the stomach. So we can bring the right hand just above the stomach and move it slowly in a clockwise direction. So from the top to the left, then below, then to the right, back to the top. And here we can say, let me be my own master. I am my own master. Let any falsehood be removed. Let the truth and the true knowledge be established in me. Let me become righteous, virtuous, and confident in my own virtue. Then you can bring the hand back. Let's keep our attention at the top of our head. We can rinse both our feet over the water and take it out. Don't put your feet back into the water after you rinse. Now we can dispose this water in the toilet and come back in 2 minutes. So we'll see you back soon. So hopefully you've all come back and settle down again. Let's sit comfortably with our back straight, hands open on our lap. And attention on our Sahasrara, which is the seventh center at the top of our head. Or you can even place your attention just above the Sahasrara, just above your head. You can bring the right hand a couple of inches over the head and see how we're feeling compared to when we started the foot soak. Check with the other hand also. See the difference if you feel a difference between the right hand and the left hand. Any of this and any sensations that you're feeling on your hands, whether it's some tingling on your fingertips, perhaps some heat here and there, or that flow that you feel through your palms. All of these are indications of the movement of that subtle energy within us. They're an indication of our connection. The fact that this limited being is now connected with the mains, with the unlimited. But as we continue to meditate, as we continue to clear ourselves, and as we continue to go deeper, more and more strands of the Kundalini will come up. And that connection will become deeper, stronger, and more established. And ultimately, it's all about seeking and realizing that oneness. Into that state of reality, which is beyond the mind. But along the way, we all go through various distractions, which we must overcome by surrendering. So various spiritual traditions around the world have talked about these distractions or enemies of our spirituality. So Sri Mataji has mentioned the 6 enemies of the soul, which are lust, anger, greed, attachment and illusion, jealousy and vanity and pride. So it is important that we introspect, we recognize these enemies within ourselves, and we overcome them through introspection, through meditation, and by developing our chakras. So let's listen to a talk by Sri Mataji, where she describes the six enemies and how they manifest in us human beings and how we can overcome them.
There are Shadripus, there are six enemies human beings have. But in the modern times, they are multiplied, I think. The first one is the lust. Kill your lust. The lust that is today finishing the West more than the greed. So first is kill your lust. Then kill your anger. There are certain people who have a built-in response that as soon as they see somebody, they get into anger. If a white man sees a black man, he gets into an anger. A black man sees a white man, he gets into anger. Is that right? I mean, God has made all kinds of skins. The life would be boring if you all had the same parts, skins, all of you looking the same. So he has made different types of beautiful people. But this anger can come from any source. This is what it is when you kill anger. Actually, you kill all your connections with the past, the responses, the conditionings you have had. Then the vanity that people have. I find it much more when I go to places where people call themselves bureaucrats, or they are in charge, like matrons, telling people what to do this, do that, do that. This is the Krishna's finger. Using Krishna's finger on others. The vanity. The vanity that you are perfect. You are perfect. Nothing wrong with you. You are the best people. English think they are the best. Germans think they are the best. Italians think they are the best. Or say, the best of all are the Swiss people. This vanity, this falsehood has to be cut out. What have we achieved by being a certain nation? Let us see. What have we contributed? Belonging to a certain country. Those who only belong to the kingdom of God have achieved something. The rest of them are useless people, just finding some way to fight each other, to denounce others. And vanity is just like a balloon. If somebody just puts a pin into it, the whole thing balloon will collapse. Then the worst of all is jealousy. And that is among Indians. Indians are very big jealous spots. Especially the Indians who are again in the government and the politics. But otherwise also there are jealousies. They'll always complain about other people and will be jealous. And also in the West, people are quite jealous, I must say. They are jealous of things which is most surprising. One day I was going in the car and one gentleman was very furious for nothing at all. So the another one tells me they are jealous because you are sitting in a Mercedes car. I said, but that's not mine, that's my husband's, you see. What is there to be jealous because I'm sitting in a Mercedes car? I mean, this is being a very stupid, nonsensical thing, but still I can't believe you can be jealous of somebody because he has a Mercedes car. What does it matter? To me, it's a foreign idea, absolutely, can't understand. But there are stupid things like that. I can only understand one jealousy, that is between husband and wife, little bit. Then the fifth thing that he asked us to kill is the attachment. Very important. This is my child, this is Indian also, more Indian. This is my cousin, this is my brother, this is my fiancé, this is my wife. Also in the West, the other way around is that they do not care for their children. They do not care for their mothers, they do not care for their fathers. They do not care for anyone whatsoever, but for themselves. That comes from the last one, is called as the greed. Because when you have greed, you don't care for anybody, you just want to have everything from another person. You want to grab another person of everything. Whatever another person has, you want to have it. But when you don't want to have it, everybody wants to give you it. That's my case. I'm very afraid to say even that this is nice, because immediately tomorrow I'll find it in my house. So this greed is the one which has done such a harm to the whole world. People have gone into great dominations and on other countries. For what? For these diamonds and nonsensical things like that. They have ruined their own lives, the progenies after progenies they have ruined. All their cunning they have used to ruin so many nations just to put them one against another, creating problems, doing all kinds of intrigue. Just for what? For greed, which is absolutely like cancer. Doesn't allow anybody else to exist. And then you start eating yourself out. It's a disease, I think, greed. And with that goes the miserliness. People become miserly. Then, where does this greed end up? After all, the money that accumulates or things that accumulate in your house, what happens to them? You want to use them. What's the matter with this one? No. Try to be, not to be, I've told you, otherwise I'll ask you to go out, all right? Concentrate. So what happens to the people who are greedy? They become miserly. They can't enjoy life. They cannot spend money because the greatest joy is in giving things to others, no doubt about it. And they cannot give any joy to anyone. They cannot create anything for the future progeny to see. So what happens to them? Their children, when they come in, they become wasted. They waste all their money. They lead a wasteful life. They get into wrong things and ruin themselves. So their children are born become miserly. So the vicious circle starts moving. He has said, kill all of them. These are your 6 enemies.
Let's meditate silently, absorbing that message without thinking. Just keeping our attention in our sahasrara. We will now go through a few affirmations, a few prayers to address these 6 enemies within ourselves. So going through these is very helpful in our own introspection. So by introspecting, where is my attention? What is it on? Is it on material things? Is it being produced by the ego? Or is it on the spirit? We can come out of, that's how we overcome these enemies of the soul. So we'll go through each one, and we will also see the connection between each of these enemies and the chakra that it affects or is affected by. We can do this in a meditative way. So if you want, you can keep your eyes closed and keep your attention at the top of your head. The first enemy of the soul is lust. So we appeal to our Kundalini, to the mother. Mother, please remove all lust, all lustfulness, all impure desire from me. This affects the Muladhara chakra, the first center, but it also affects the entire left side, the left channel, because desire is on the left side. So lust is nothing but an impurity of desire. So we can place the right hand on Mother Earth and say, Mother, please make my desire pure. Please make me innocent. Please make my eyes innocent. Let there be no lust in my eyes, in my seeing. Let me not be tempted by that which is gross. Let my attention always be on the subtle, on the sublime, on the spirit. At the feet of the divine, which is in my sastra. So if we recognize any measure of lust within ourselves, we can use this prayer or this affirmation to overcome. This helps clear the Muladhara in the entire left channel, including the left side of the heart and the back side of the sixth center, the Ajna. Another way to purify our eyes, especially in today's world where there's so much visual distraction. Everything from ads to the media is designed in a way to entice. So, a very effective way to keep our eyes pure is to meditate upon Shri Mataji's bindi, which is the red dot on her forehead, and keeping your right hand on the back side of your head. Because the back side of the brain is related to eyesight, visual processing. So you can try that now. Mother, please make my eyes pure. Please make my eyes innocent. Can bring her hand down. Next, Mother, please dissolve all anger. So anger affects or is related to the second center, the Swadhisthana, but also more generally the right side, which develops into the ego. So the right channel goes up and then goes from the right to the left in the head. And here it becomes a balloon-like structure, which is the ego. So the best way to overcome anger is to turn it inward. Be angry with yourself for not being one with the spirit, and then let go. Become compassionate. Forgive. Forgive yourself and forgive others. So here we say, Mother, please dissolve all anger. Please make us compassionate and loving. So we introspect and see how we can become more compassionate, more loving, more relaxed, more forgiving with everybody, including ourselves. So here we can place the right hand across the forehead and say, I forgive. I forgive everyone. And I forgive myself. You can bring a hand down. Next. Mother, please take us beyond matter and materialism. Please remove greed in us. Please make us balanced, peaceful, and satisfied. And let us see the beauty of the Spirit in everything. Greed comes from just wanting more and more and more without ever being satisfied. So we break that illusion by just feeling satisfied, feeling contented, realizing that we have everything, that the true joy comes from giving, from sharing love, sharing joy, and not from material things. So this greed is connected with the third center, the Nabhi, as well as the void region. And it is also connected to the Vishuddhi, which is the fifth center. So we can place the right hand on the Nabhi, just on the stomach, and say, Mother, let me be contented. Please remove all form of greed. Make me generous. Let me be able to give more joy to others. And all sharing, all giving is an expression. So the expression comes through the Vishuddhi, which is the fifth center. Next enemy is attachment, mistaking the physical body for reality, getting identified with all the worldly things instead of the spiritual. My family, my son, my daughter, my mother, my father. My religion, my caste, my country. My race. All of these are just illusions because they are at the gross, at the worldly level. But when we are identified only with the absolute, with the spirit, these attachments simply dissolve. So this is affected by the heart, or it affects the heart and the Sahasrara. The heart is the fourth chakra. So we can place the right hand on the heart and we say, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not these thoughts, I am not any of these worldly identities. I am the pure spirit. I am one with the absolute. I am one with the truth. Mother, please keep me free from these illusions. Keep me in reality. remove any superficiality from my being. Can bring a hand back. The fifth, the next enemy is jealousy. This also relates to the Nabhi and the Vishuddhi, that is, the third and the fifth chakras. So we can place our right hand on either the stomach or on the Vishuddhi, on the throat, and say, Mother, please remove all our jealousies, all our competitiveness, which comes from the illusion that I am separate. So please make us part of the whole. Please make us one with the whole, so that we feel joy in giving and sharing. We feel joy from another person's joy. Give me that sweetness in my being, so that I can express only joy when I interact with others. And the sixth enemy of the soul is vanity or arrogance and pride. This comes from the sixth center, that is Ajna, where we have the ego and the superego. So here, whenever we feel, whenever we introspect and recognize that there is pride in us, there is vanity in us, we can just silently laugh at ourselves for feeling that way. Because what are we in this vast cosmos, in this universe? Less than a tiny speck. So here we say, Mother, please dissolve all our pettiness, all our pride. Let us be surrendered. Let us be without ego. The ego is very tricky. The ego can be very subtle. Even to think that I am humble is also, it also shows some ego there. So the best is to simply, completely surrender. And when we let go of this pride, we can feel that lightness coming. We become much more relaxed. We become more silent. So let's keep our attention at the top of our head. Surrender any thoughts. We will conclude today's meditation by once again raising the Kundalini 3 times, establishing it over our Sahasrara, and then balancing the 2 sides 7 times. Thank you all for joining today. And
Thank you.
thank you. Sorry we went a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was beautiful.
Questions will be here. So,
Sudeep, thank you so much for today's meditation.
thank you, Marcy, Naji.
Thank you for this wonderful experience, Sudhir brother. Really, really
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Mati.
Have a beautiful day. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too, Mati. Thank you, Mariam. Thank you, Samir.